Hey class, welcome to How Do I Balance Chemical Equations, and we are listening to part 2 of our series of 3 parts. We're going to be looking at today how do I balance chemical equations, and in general, how do I identify all of the coefficients. Last video, if you got to see it, it's part 1. You can see it on my YouTube channel. It is talking about the beginnings of balancing equations, why we balance the equations based on the law of conservation of mass, and we practiced a little bit on identifying missing coefficients. Today we're going to be looking at identifying all the coefficients. And so with that, we will get underway. Here are some tips for balancing equations. Please take a moment to pause and look at these before you move on. This equation here you see has no coefficients. What we're going to be doing now is we're going to be looking at how we put those in. Remember, we're balancing the equations so that one side, the reactants, is equal to the product side. And so we look and what we see here is that we have the oxygens are not equal. So with that, we need to figure out how can I make these equal. So I look at the ones that have oxygen. I see we got tin oxide over here, and we have water. Right now, these are going to be the ones we're going to be working on. And so I look here, I got 2, and I have 1 over here. So how do I get 2 oxygens over here on this side? We're going to put a coefficient of 2 here. We're going to think that there were 2 water molecules that were created in this chemical equation. So that changes this from 1 to 2, but look, it also changes our hydrogens. So now we need to change that to 4. And so now what we need to do, we're still not balanced, but we have a clue of where to go next. We changed the hydrogens, so now we got to go to see what the coefficient of hydrogen should be, the H2. What we're trying to do is get the hydrogens to equal the hydrogens on this side. So we're going to be looking at figuring out this coefficient. So what times 2 equals 4? We're going to make a 2 here. That's going to change this to 4. And so I look here, I don't have to put anything here. It's a mental 1 there and a mental 1 here. We got 1 and 1. We got 2 oxygens, 2 oxygens, 4 hydrogens, and 4 hydrogens. And so right now we have that this side here is balanced with the product side. So we are equal, we are balanced. Here's another example we're going to be looking at. We have aluminum plus O2 yields Al2O3. We're going to see what it is right now without any coefficients. We have 1 Al and we have 2 oxygens on the reactant side. We have 2 aluminums over here and we have 3 oxygens over here. So right now we can tell right now we're not balanced. Maybe we should try to see if we can get the oxygens balanced. I look here and I see, I have an odd number here, but I have an even subscript. That's going to cause an issue. And so what we need to think about, maybe we should think about the least common multiple of these and try to see how we can get there. So we got multiples of 2 and 3, and so I got 2, 4, 6, and 3 and 6. Well, 6 is the least common multiple, so maybe we want to try to get so that this equals 6. So sorry for my bad handwriting. And so we want to try to get that to equal 6. And so we will put a 2 here, and we'll see if that changes things up. So right now we got 4 ALs, and we have 6 oxygens. So now what we need to do is we need to get the 4s on. We need to get 4 ALs over here. Well, we have only 1, so if we do 4 groups of 1, we're left with 4 ALs. So right now that's good. And we look here at the O2, and we need to get this to equal 6. So we do 2 times 3 gives us 6. And so right now we have 4 and 6 and 4 and 6. So our balanced equation was found by looking at the least common multiple of 2 subscripts. Didn't figure that math was going to get in here, math in that sense, but it makes sense here. We can get 4 ALs plus 3 O2s is going to yield 2 aluminum oxides. And so that's how we get that equation, and we are balanced. If you want to watch any more videos, I will have part 3 up looking at more complex compound chemical reactions and equations, and we're going to be looking at balancing those further. Right now, I want you to practice a couple of equations in our lab that we're doing, and see me when you have a finished product that you show me how to understand, or that you show me that you understand these.